We're now recording.
Excellent. So
We are live.
We are.
we are live. Has everyone got
Recording in front of
music?
a live studio audience.
Everyone got music. We're all good. Good.
So good.
Fabulous. So, hi, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks, obviously, since our last session. And as I'll speak about at the end, I have no idea when our next session is going to be because I love Jake dearly, but if he could stop moving Terracia, that'd be great. So I know how to oppose weeks with it. Be fantastic. But anyway, apart from that, you guys have found yourselves at the start of the second arc, Tentative Alliances. So you met up with the White Dragonborn, who was given as a contact to our dear little Cacula, with the request of, would you like to help? You went to go meet up with this Dragonborn who was clearly testing you at first. You interacted with a couple of his crew and he introduced himself as Frost Lion, and took you back to his skyship, the Peak Skipper. Thereupon he gave you basically the details of the mission, which is you're going to go out to the mining dell and you're going to try and basically free some slaves and make sure that you can, get some slaves freed and take them out to the Stygian forest, but also he needs a forward crew, as it were. You guys are going to be the stealth mission. So you met the crew of the Peak Skipper, all fucking 15 of them. I regret making so many NPCs. Interestingly enough, now I have backstories for all of them. So if you've got questions, I now know the answers. So
I fear and respect you.
I know how long they've been on that ship. I know why they joined the ship. I know all of these kind of things at this point. You've met up with them and found yourselves on the ship. You went back. Kitto had a meltdown about things that may or may not come to light. Kitto was like, don't know whether or not these people might want to kill me, based on not a lot of evidence, but that's
Stop
fine.
criticizing him. I won't stand for it.
So you did decide eventually that actually this is worth the effort, and decided to head back out onto the Peak Skipper, whereupon Kitto had a conversation with quite literally the only member of that crew that would cause Kitto to have possibly more anxiety, annoyingly. There we go. Fine decisions. And then
Got in my notes. Oh no, Fenrir was on Kitto's trauma ship.
The only member of that crew that Kitto could have talked to make that worse was Fenrir.
Isn't it his fault? Don't blame
No,
him.
that was just a weird thing that I didn't expect to come up. But anyway, aside from that, you for the first time saw yourselves off on a skyship for the first time. It's like 8 p.m. At this point, and you are traveling the 4 to 5 hours that it is over the sump, by going back around Utopia, around the back of Utopia. Actually, I can put you on the map so that you can see this. On the skyship around the back of, so you're flying over Utopia itself, over the city, and then round the back of the tradesman's pillars and behind the underbelly, sort of into the area of the behind Utopia, the Baywick Range, the mountains that sit behind Utopia, in an attempt to be able to do this without being spotted. And from there, you're then going to get on a tiny little boat with the Warforged Spirit, who will take you into the mining dell, and you will find out information and then come back and report back. So that is where we shall pick up. So there we go. So you guys are now on the ship. If all goes well, which you don't think it will take you between 4 and 5 hours to get there, and you don't have anything else necessarily to do until then. So if you would like to, if there is anything you specifically want to do, please speak now.
Are you factoring in planning time into
I
that?
am not, so if you
Okay,
want to start
we need to do that then.
Start
Let's
there.
do that.
Okay, I need to know if you're doing that in earshot of any other NPCs, or if you're actively asking for any NPCs' advice.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like we could just do it on deck because they all know that it's happening, and if they have any insights, that could be really helpful.
Okay, then I would like to know where about you're doing it as to which NPCs you may interact with, that's all.
Anywhere where there's no people we could bother with our presence.
Not in the way,
Yeah.
not in the engine room.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not like
on the rigging.
sitting on top of the steering wheel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, around the wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you could be in the bow of the ship. That would put you probably closest to maybe some of the deck hands, but probably nobody else. Kind of the opposing position to Frostline.
I mean, we don't want to go and sit at the stern where the... No, I think it might be good to get Frostline involved.
If you want to get Frostline involved, there are places you can stand nearish Frostline
Or maybe
that aren't that in the way.
Yeah. I think that's good. I don't think we should go up to him and be like, "We need your help."
If we can have a conversation in earshot of him.
Or
That's fine.
I think we should go and tell him. I mean, and Cacula will say that I think we should go and tell him. When we have a plan, we should go and tell him the plan so he knows that we have one.
That was what Nerin was going to
Sorry.
suggest.
Sorry.
Okay, well, okay. Just more of a...
I'm Cacula Scott.
No, I hate
I
that.
love stars and constellations.
Stop.
Eldritch Blade.
Yes.
Glad shape, baby.
Nope. Cease. Okay, so if you guys are going near the front of the ship, near the bow, okay, then if you're going to have this conversation at the front of the ship near the bow, you're possibly nearish Clicks, and you're possibly nearish maybe Carnassa, but probably nobody else. Most people at this point are kind of scattering to do various jobs. It was also quite late, remember? It's like 8 p.m, so it's dark. Just generally, it's not very light out here. Okay, so what do you guys wish to talk about?
So we're just looking to see
Who that is.
Okay, Clicks is the Kenku.
Clicks is the Kenku, and Carnatha is the Moon Elf.
Middle-aged. Who was the other one? Sorry.
Carnatha is the Moon Elf.
Yeah.
She's also a deckhand. They would be probably dealing with the rigging around that area, but also they're not likely to stand still. They're likely to kind of pop in and out of the conversation. So if you want to ask them something, they'll be there. But like,
pop in and out is fine. They're both freed though, so that might be helpful.
They are, yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll have our talk.
Okay.
Right. Well, I can turn into things that are very small and wouldn't look out of place. I could turn into a spider. They're surprisingly quick, and can climb on walls and things. If there are any locked doors, I could just scoot into the space underneath them. I can be a spider multiple times for an hour at each. So I could always go, sit down, find you somewhere to hole up and be stealthy and all that. And I can just go and do some recon to make sure there's nothing in our way, or at least we'll be informed about what is. And then I can come back and make us all a little bit more sneaky with passive out of trace, and then we can go from there.
That's definitely as far as recon goes. I think.
Astrid, not getting you.
Oh, great. Yeah, I am
a little bit quiet anyway.
Yeah, you're fine. Niimi was fine. Astrid, I lost all of that.
Okay. It could be like a locational thing with the mic as well. I will because I'm directly in. Get cozied up. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I think that definitely as far as recon goes, that works.
It's good to be informed first.
I
can be completely invisible, and or I could make somebody else completely invisible.
Right. Okay.
How long does that last?
An hour or 10 minutes, one or the other.
Very big difference.
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
No,
Cacula,
I get you. I was trying to remember today whether whilst
An
it
hour.
lasts 10 minutes or an hour.
An hour.
I think it's 10 minutes in starry form, but it's an hour in beast shape.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're a moon druid, and then it's half your druid level.
Yeah.
You can cast and then transform.
Yeah.
Remember that, because you can hold concentration
Yes,
whilst
yes.
in beast shape.
Actually, that's what they said earlier. I just forgot. So I would have said that. I would have clarified that.
Yeah, because you can cast Pass Without a Trace and concentrate on Pass Without a Trace whilst being a spider.
Yeah.
You have that ability.
I mean, if anything, you know, as a spider, they're rather good with their webs. And when I am a spider, I can kind of sense things that bump into them. So maybe I could even, you know, if we have to sneak in anywhere, I could do a little web across the door jam. And if anybody comes into contact with it, I can scuttle over and let you all know.
That doesn't work mechanically.
Oh, okay.
It's
Sorry.
just, I was looking up the stats of a spider earlier,
Yes.
and it had this thing called, hang on, sorry, they're just loading again. Yeah, it was called like web sense, which I think, I mean, I guess Spidey sense is copyrighted.
You
by
have to
everybody.
be on a web, I think.
You
is the
have
key
to
thing.
be stood on the web.
You have to sit on the web because it's
Yeah,
movement.
no, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Let me check that. Because
I'm
that
on,
sounds
Level
massively...
20, D&D 5th Ed Compendium,
Where's my
Spider
compendium?
Traits, Web Sense.
I just have a compendium of bestiaries, to be honest. Welcome to permanently playing a moon druid. I have a lot of
Yeah, that's valid. That's
bestiary
valid.
compendium stuff. Where is...
Also, sad fact about D&D 5e, no mouse. There's no mouse statted, only rat. You could only be a rat.
Well, you can be a mouse. You would just use the rat stats.
Well, I want to be a mouse with mouse stats.
Very different.
Very different.
Spider.
Mhm.
Spider climb.
Also, hilariously, the spider has a higher AC than the rat.
Yeah.
I guess it's because it's smaller, but I just found that so funny.
The spider has a higher AC than a brown bear. I should know. Syl is fairly consistently a brown bear, and the AC on a brown bear is 11.
It does only have 1 hit point, though, to be fair.
Yep.
1d4 minus 1.
So the max you could have is 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I have found the stat block here. Hello, stat block. Yes, but only if they are in contact with the same web.
Yeah,
so
that's what I meant.
Yeah, for them to be in contact with the same web, you would see them first. It doesn't actually assist you.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
Because they'd have to walk into it, and you're
Cacula
looking at
also-
people.
Cacula also wouldn't have thought of that. So
Okay.
he's going to stand by that suggestion.
That's fair. But yeah, mechanically, you would have to, like, you would definitely fucking see someone before they walked into the web for you to sense it.
It's handy for invisible people, presumably.
It would be handy if anyone was being able to cast invisibility, yes.
I think doing it as all in one go, you know, the stealth and spider is better than separately, because otherwise we're going to be a group of people standing somewhere waiting for a spider to return, which I don't think is particularly subtle.
That's
You know, once we're dropped there, we're dropped.
That's true.
And if you get hurt while you're in there, there's no ways to know that you're not coming back.
That's true. That's true. Yes, that's a very good point. Never mind. But I can still be a spider.
You can
I can go through
recall
doors and things.
ahead of us if we are in a corridor and there's a door ahead.
Yes, I'll
send
take
you
under.
under the door
Excellent. And then I could move quicker as well because I could just ride on one of your shoulders.
and come
Unless you're
back.
afraid of spiders, then I can just walk on the ground. I don't know.
You could come back, and if there's people in the room, you spin in a circle, and if there's not any
Right.
people in the room,
Yes.
you lift up your front leg and go
Brilliant.
like that.
Yes, like a little spider sign language. You're brilliant. I love it. Excellent.
Amazing.
All right. Great. I love this plan.
But
Okay.
also, do we have any idea of what we're going into looks like at all? Is there any, scouting is all well and good, but if we're just going into corridors and making random turns, then, do we have any idea of what, I don't know, do we have any aim? How big is this place,
I think we're mostly looking for what security is there and where the enslaved people are gathered. I think, like where the barracks are, if that makes sense, the cells, and what security there is. That would certainly be the priority, I think.
We know that there are watchtowers and guards.
Yes. But where specifically? I think
Yeah.
that's what we're aiming for.
If you can get me in to have a look around, I'll remember it. I'll remember the layout and be able to write it all back down.
All right, great.
But again, it's like what Nerin said. It depends how big this place is. If it's like kilometers vast, we're not going to get through the whole thing.
Right. Would I know it, because obviously my grandmother is like kind of connected. Would I know all what it's? I doubt I would have ever been to a camp.
God no.
But what would I know anything about, like what roughly they look like?
I guess roll history.
Okay.
Roll grandma.
Yeah.
Roll grandma.
Um,
17 grandmas.
Okay.
No, I have to add I have a +5 to history. So
22.
Yeah. 22 grandmas.
You would know that it's more likely that the slaves are going to be separate from like working areas.
Okay.
Because what they're doing out there is mining, right? So you would know that they would probably be kept in specified block houses that aren't over a certain number, so that you don't get uprisings, that aren't that close to each other, so that you don't get uprisings, that are not necessarily like on the coal face, as it were.
Yeah.
So you're not likely to have to wander through many like corridors and corridors of stuff. There may be some admin and some guards, and some guard chambers, but you're not going to be like looking through factories looking for a place where slaves are sleeping. You're going to be looking for a singular building that may have some guards in it, but mainly is used for slave quarters. You're not really looking for a whole complex.
Okay.
That's what you would know.
Do you convey that?
Yeah, I'll say that. Just another question. Feel free to like deny info. But would I know that, like, would there just be like the one main barracks for that, or would there be somewhere else we're looking at as well? I mean, I guess we can't get that many people out, so it makes sense to keep it to one, right?
Yeah, that's the point. The point that Farlin gave you was we're going for one barracks because we can't get that many people on the ship. So if we can't get them out, then they're still fucked because it's a 5-day walk out of the fucking area and they will die.
Yeah.
So
they'll either die there or have to go back and get killed.
Yeah, so that's why they're doing the raid like this, because they can probably get max 30 people out in an extremely uncomfortable ride.
Yeah.
But they can't do anything else.
Okay.
So you can only really do one barracks.
Yeah, I would convey that info then. So I think we should be all right. I mean, I doubt it'll be very complex either, or particularly pleasant, because obviously they won't be keeping their workers in the best of conditions.
Given the fact...
Thoughts of revolution and uprising are far easier to have if you aren't focused on how hungry, tired, and exhausted you are.
Given that we think they're probably going to be in a separate building or something like that, somehow separate, then it might be better to save the turning into a spider until it seems like, if there's going to be a separate building, then there's probably going to be sort of more courtyards than doors. And in that case, I don't know how much good the spider would do.
I also want to talk about a backup plan for if we do get spotted. Because we're going to have to kill him, right?
if we get spotted by a guard, we're going to have to kill them. And then you can't charm her, they'll know. You can't, there's nothing high enough level that I can cast that'll allow you to charm them and not know that they've seen you. It's better for them to just go missing rather than show up dead, so we've got to kill them and take them with us.
I think you're right. I hate to do that.
If they're unconscious, they'll just wake up and yell.
There's no other way. And bribery is easy to circumvent. You just collect the money and then tell your superiors either. And if there's any gain from that, then you just gain doubly from doing your job. So,
I suppose the other thing to bear in mind is that if we do manage to get someone and knock them unconscious, and we're going to have to carry their body and hide it anyway, would it perhaps be worth trying to bring them back here so that we can question them about anything that we don't find?
perhaps. I think we definitely have to run that past the captain first.
Yes, definitely.
And anyone we
I'm just thinking if we're carrying a body anyway.
Yeah, but anyone we bring back will take the place of someone we could be freeing.
No.
Yes.
If you're having this conversation near enough Karnatha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you say that, she'll look up from where she's tying knots in the rigging and go, "No, they won't." Because if you don't kill them, we will.
Yeah. I feel like we have
She kind of moves her wrists and shows you the marks that she's got. If you don't kill them, we will. You can bring them back here for questioning. I don't think the captain's going to have an issue with it, but they won't live.
Oh yes, no, I wasn't presuming they'd live. I was just thinking they might be useful before they died.
That's fair. As I say, you can bring them back, and the captain has a few tricks that might help us tell if they're lying, as does Cassandra. But they won't live.
Depends if there's anything worth knowing.
That's also true. I guess that depends on how well your recon goes.
Indeed. I mean,
Wanders off.
at the very least, they know the shifts and rotations that they were on. But that might not be any use to us if they shift in guards. If they shift the guards in to stay for a few weeks and then there's another shift, if we're at shift change, then obviously that's entirely useless to us. But I like the idea of knocking someone out and bringing them back for information more. At least they can be useful to us.
Yeah.
I suppose I think
The body problem.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, but not if we don't have to.
Yeah.
If we can get in, get through, and not be seen by anybody, that is.
yes. We don't want to be seen by someone. And if we are seen by them, they will die. It just is a matter of whether or not we think we can bring the body back here for questioning first.
Yes. Right. Is that what we've got then? I mean, I guess it's kind of. We'll just see when we get there, I suppose.
We don't know what the building looks like. We're going to have to play a little bit faster.
Yeah. We'll do. We have things we can do.
Stop me, DM, if this is too meta.
Mm-hmm.
Who out of us lot is the least sneaky?
I'm going to say that's not too meta, but the answer's probably you. I'd like to point out it's going to be you or Cacula.
I have a +1, but
Okay,
it's going to be me.
very good then. The answer is going to be you.
Same. Oh, is it? Yeah, we both have +1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, because the other two are a monk and a rogue,
Yeah,
so by nature they're going to have
fine.
higher. They're going to be sneakier than you
And
are,
you're,
and you would know
you're a
that.
spider, so I'll be invisible. That's fine.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Yeah, because you would be like, I hate to say it, but I think both of us, to be honest.
Yeah, it's you, wizard, because I mean, if people had other things, I would say it's too metagamey, but by the fact that the other two members are a rogue and a monk, and you know that both of those things are good at being quiet and doing things in particular ways, it's you.
Also, having fought together before, we've kind of got the idea.
Yeah, you know that Nerin fight. Yeah, you know that Nerin fights with Dex. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't have the concept of that, but you know that Nerin fights with precision.
You also know that
not
Nerin is
strength.
tiny.
You also know that Nerin is not strong, so you know that Nerin is probably sneaky.
And
you know that
glows,
Kitto is sneaky.
so there's that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it isn't a metagamey question from you because actually the answers are there in combat all the time. So yes, you're fine.
Okay.
But also the answer's you.
R.I.P. in pieces.
Sorry.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to? Anything else we've forgotten about?
I don't think so.
It depends. Are they going to want a sort of map or layout of the building? If we only need to know where one barracks is, are we going to need? It would be good to know about guard changes, but also that information isn't going to be in the barracks. That'll be elsewhere.
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe in an admin room.
Mhm.
But it is the middle of the night. Who mans an admin room in the middle of the night?
I don't know. That's
It
the
might
people
be
who've got-
guarded, but not manned. In which case, that might be circumventable.
But there's nowhere to get off site.
Would it be potentially useful if we went and checked with Frost Lion what exactly we're being expected to produce, what we need, what isn't useful?
Yes. Well, as I said, I think we should bring any semblance of a plan that we have to him anyway. But so that's definitely something we can ask. I mean, should we go now? I think we kind of planned as much as we can, to be honest. We have
I
a
think
backup plan,
it's
however gruesome it may be.
I don't think it's a sensible idea to plan anything without an idea of what we're aiming for.
Yeah. If we need to go in and get guard rotations and building layout and etc., then that's another expedition inside, assumedly the main air building, maybe somewhere else. We might get lucky and it be in the barracks.
Maybe. But yes, as I said, I don't imagine that the central building for management will be anywhere near the slave quarters.
Okay.
Yep. Toot on down to Frost Lion.
He is stood resplendent as ever, in front with one hand on the wheel and the other hand flicking over the gears and moving slightly. Oh, yes.
Just to double check, specifically what information is going to be useful to you and what's not. We're cycling through plans. If we find the barracks where they're keeping them and what the guards look like around there, is that all you're going to need? Are you wanting guard rotations? Are we going to need building layouts? That kind of thing.
And if building layouts, how many? Because, I mean, I've never been, but from general family knowledge, which I unfortunately have, the slaves' quarters will be quite a distance away from main management, I think. I mean, if anything, the closest thing should be the guards' barracks and maybe an admin building, perhaps. So we could get those, but it would be extra risk, which is fine, obviously. It just depends on what you want.
If we don't need to take it, we
We
won't.
won't, exactly.
Very fair. Let's think about this. I don't want extra risk because it's not only you're putting at risk, it's my crew.
Exactly, and the potential people we could save.
Precisely. So I would say we don't need guard rotas because unless you think it's beneficial, we're going to kill them.
Yes.
So I don't care about their rotas. I care about where they are, so I know how to go in. I want to know what's best, basically.
Right.
Is it better going in with the full crew? Is it better just sending you in to get in, kill the guards, and then sneak around to the back with the peak skipper? Which, personally, I think is probably best, because it's a noticeable thing. I don't want anybody else getting wind of what we're trying to do here. If you
And
go...
worst comes to worst, we can serve quite well as distractions. I can glow.
Yes. So, what I want to know is, what do you think is most useful to me? Is it actually most useful to go in and rain hellfire on it, which seems illogical on my end, but I haven't seen the area. But that's up to you, and I want to know how many I'm pulling out, because I need to be able to be aware of, one, how many people Cassandra is cooking for, and two, how many people I'm going to need to be able to free. Because those people are going to be afraid, and they're going to be lost, and they're going to need support. Now, Aramir is very good, but he's not a therapist. So, I need to know what I need to do with my crew and with these people. And I need to know how best to get these people in and out. I am happy to lend you members of my crew if you want support going in, if you think things are going to be too difficult. Spirit wields a weapon very well, as does Torrance and Fenrir. But I don't want more of my crew having to go in than have to. And the more of my crew go in, the harder it is for us to stay up. For example, Fenrir is our bosun. I kind of need him to make sure that our deckhands know what they're doing.
Of course. Well, certainly for the recon mission, it's much better for us to go by ourselves.
Yes.
And I assume that the other answer will be best given once we know how many guards there are and where they are.
Precisely. That's the point
The
of the
other-
recon mission.
Yes,
The
exactly.
other thing that we have suggested is a sort of, in case things go wrong,
Yes.
presumably, if we get seen by anyone, we're going to kill them. But we had an idea that if there was anything useful you thought we could get out of them, we could first knock them unconscious and bring them back here, seeing as we're going to have to kill them and take them somewhere to make it less suspicious. Do you think you'd get anything out of that, or should we just leave the body somewhere unnoticeable?
If you think you're going to get something out of that, then I'm not going to say no, but if you bring them back here, there are crew members lining up to take blood.
Yeah, we know.
I'm sure you do. A lot of them have been harshly treated by individuals like this.
Yes. We just thought if we have bumped into someone anyway, we may as well get some information out of them. I mean, the guard is likely to know the guard rota, which I know you said isn't particularly useful, but it could maybe there's a shift change or weakness in defenses that the guard might know that it might not be immediately apparent to us. Perhaps. It could be entirely useless, but they're going to die either way.
Exactly. So I don't mind which way you do it. It is up to you, completely.
Right.
Just don't think they're going to live past my crew, because they're not.
We don't.
Good.
I don't know what we'd do with them even if we did let them live, to be honest. Where would they go? What would they do?
It's not
If
like
we did
there's
let
a
them live, then
function-
we'd kill them,
Precisely.
just a bit later.
Exactly.
Yes, it's not like there's a functional system of arrest in this city.
No.
Anyway. Okay. So yes, anything else you need from me before this?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, given this wind, I reckon we've got about 4 hours before we get there, hoping that we don't run into any issues, which is never true, but tail crossed. So, if you wouldn't mind, I must get back to flying the ship.
Of course. Sorry.
Yeah, it's no worries. You are doing me a favor more than anything, remember. But yes, do go talk to the rest of the crew, whatever, and try and stay above deck in case there's anything that's massively an issue.
All right.
It's possible we'll run into some danger as we get into the range itself. It's a little bit of a home of things that are more dangerous than others. And by the look of you, you're more capable than most of my crew at defending yourselves.
Oh. Maybe. I would hate to presume.
My crew are a lot of things, but a lot of them are also sky pirates and not fighters.
Yes, exactly. Fantastic at flying a ship, though. This is wonderful.
Thank you. We are very proud.
Yes,
Just
let's
before I
go make our plans.
Is there anywhere where it would be all right for me to just lie down without being in the way? Not to sleep,
You want to see the stars.
perhaps.
Go talk to Scroll. The crow's nest is fairly large and it's a good spot. You'll have to climb the rigging, but it's not too dangerous.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
This is how Cacula moves, by the way.
Is there anything that anybody specifically wants to do?
That.
Yes, I'll deal with you going to do that.
Deal with you in a moment. Deal with you.
I will. I know what you're going to do.
Down too. I'm the dog.
I just thought, never mind drawing the stars. He was going to be in them.
Yeah. I mean, quite literally, it's pretty high. That's the other point. It is quite cold. I'm not sure if you can hear the ambience, but there's very loud wind rustling sounds and that kind of thing. It's pretty chilly because...
I can only hear the jubilation of How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay, I will turn down How to Train Your Dragon because it's quite loud so that you can hear the ambience of sky travel.
Dramatic fire it.
Now I hear nothing.
There you go. There's the ambience for sky travel.
You're going to give it to me live.
Yep, okay.
We don't need ambience. We are our own sound machine. Oh, it's sensory.
Yeah. Okay, so Kitto, anything you want to do specifically?
Because you practically said don't go below deck, which I think was aimed at me. Thanks, dear.
I mean, maybe, because if you go below deck, then things will happen and you won't be there.
I know. So if there's a quiet spot above deck,
There, yes, you can find probably at the prow. There's not a whole lot of people at the prow. You'd be fine over there.
you will sit and look at outside.
Okay.
Disguise the fact he's having a panic attack.
He's no longer having a panic attack.
Yay!
Okay.
Sometimes looking outside is just looking outside, okay?
Sometimes people are just looking outside.
So Kitto's like those bears who just sit and look at the scenery.
Yeah.
Doing that. Exactly what he's doing.
Hassel?
Vibing.
Excellent. Glad you're doing that. Nerin?
Just like
Nerin wants to
Simply not vibe. In the Macarena.
just getting in the way. Just standing in the crow's nest already. You didn't even ask. You just went up. Like a complete silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Staring directly at Frost Lion like a floating ritual.
I hate that a lot. Nerin?
Oh, I was just going to say, Nerin wants to climb up to the crow's nest. Nerin isn't really bothered about the star watching, but Nerin wants to climb. That sounds
Okay.
fun.
Yes, I will also...
But obviously I don't need to RP that, but that is what Nerin is doing.
I need you to make an acrobatics check then.
Yes.
With advantage, because you are climbing rope.
It'd be so funny if Cacula just fell to his death.
You wouldn't fall to your death, you'd fall to the ship.
Wait, what am I doing?
Make a
Acrobatics.
Cacula sized hole. Please.
I can't hear, sorry.
It's fine.
What check am I making?
Acrobatics, my dear.
Yes. That is a 24.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. You climb up and down that rigging, you have a great time, it looks great, and actually, you're really
Everyone's
enjoying
like, why is there a little purple boy?
vibing on the rigging, just having a great time. Okay, cool. All right, so and you're just vibing, Hathor?
The Macarena, I think.
Yeah, as established.
I don't know, maybe trying to find somewhere to loiter. Might go and sit next to Kitto, but not actually interact with Kitto, just sit next to.
Okay, so you boys sit at the prow, which is actually quite nice because you're pretty sheltered from the wind there, so it's not uncomfortable. It's good.
2 inches apart because they're very gay.
Yep, good.
Excellent. So Cacula, I also need you to make me an acrobatics check with advantage to climb to the
I
crow's nest.
know. Oh, I get advantage. Yay. Why?
Yeah, 'cause-
Because you want me to not fall to my death. That's
No,
very
because
kind.
there's ropes and
It's
things that you can actually
okay.
use to climb.
We climbed up. Another 17. So
Yeah.
that is with acrobatics 18.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine.
That's not even with advantage. Hang on a sec. No, that was 10. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
Imagine if I got a nat 20. I'm like, yeah, babe.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm
you
coming.
as I say, it is designed to be climbed. It's also designed to be climbed by a being a lot heavier than you. Like, the scout is a warforged. As much as Scroll is a lithe and quite, lithely built, quite lanky warforged, they're still made of metal, and thus it's quite, difficult. So they are, it's easy enough for you to scramble up and find yourself up in the crow's nest, which, as I say, is quite large, and Scroll is sat cross-legged, just sat upright, cross-legged, with back against the mast. Kind of turns to you. Hello.
Hello. Awfully sorry to bother you. Would you mind if I come and sit? I just want to have a look at the stars. I've never seen them this clear before.
Oh,
I'm an astronomer.
come
Well,
and sit.
thank you. I'm Cacula. I know I said earlier, but I feel like I should introduce myself to you again, personally.
Scroll. I guess, again. Now that it's a little more personal between the two of us, come and sit down.
Thank you. They're so clear.
Yes. They feel different, I think.
It's almost like being with them.
Yes. There has been some times when this skyship has gotten very, very high, and it's almost like you could touch them.
I'd like to do that one day.
Yes, I think we all would. There are some of my kind, or there were some of my kind, that are forged out of their hearts. They're known as star-forged. They're incredibly rare.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel... Sorry.
No, go on.
Sometimes I feel almost as if I was supposed to be in a star. I don't know what to do with myself a lot down here. Stars don't have to talk to anybody. They just do what they do. Up here. They're just together with people. And also 1,000 miles apart, and that's all right. All they have to do is shine.
Yes. Perhaps that is... I guess the idea of not having necessarily a requirement
Exactly.
is nice.
No one expects a star to, take over the family business or be able to talk to people without pushing them quite off.
You are worried about expectation.
Well, I suppose we all are. Well, many people are. Maybe it's just me. Sorry.
No, it is difficult to be worried about expectation when you're not quite sure what that expectation is or was.
That makes sense.
It has been a long time since I have had anyone who has expected anything from me. Truly. The captain expects things from me, but I don't think it counts in the same way.
There's more responsibilities that you've taken on unwillingly. You know you're good at them and you can do them, and they help people that you like.
Yes.
It's different, I think. Are you happier without them?
I don't remember having them to differentiate. It is difficult to explain and not something that I am willing to discuss.
No.
Someone who is not of my own kind.
Of course. And, I mean, even if that weren't true, we just met yesterday. Sorry, I wasn't meaning to. I'm not very good at conversation. I feel like that comes across with everybody who talks to me, but...
You were not pushing. You were not to know. The expectations and differences of my race are perhaps cryptic.
That's all right. Everyone deserves to have their own secrets and their thoughts and privacy and things they keep to themselves.
You will find that most Warforged are fairly private generally. At least those that I know.
I've never really met any Warforged before. I mean, there was one in the university I went to, but I suspect that we didn't interact very much, and I suspect that they were there for more reasons than what they proclaimed to, which was bodyguarding. Seems.
Longsworn.
Yes, quite. As I said, I don't know them very well.
Made interesting decisions, that one. Not bad decisions, just
Interesting.
not what I would have gone with, I think.
Yes.
Some people would see his position as a betrayal, I think.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that in that case.
He had his reasons.
We all do.
Yes. You were surprised that I knew Longthorn.
Well, yes, I suppose so. I mean, I hate to presume, and you seem to move in quite different worlds.
We do. But I know all of the Warforged in the city. All of the Warforged in the city know each other.
There aren't many of you, are there?
12.
So I suppose that would make sense.
The story is a sad one, I would say. And not one I'm willing to tell yet, I don't think.
Of course.
It is also one that I not necessarily have permission to tell. It is not my story alone. It is the story of at least other members of this crew and of the Warforged.
Well, should it ever be shared, I'll certainly be honoured to listen. But I shan't ever expect it, of course.
You are better at people than you give yourself credit for, Cacula.
Oh. Thank you.
Kind of a creak as there is a slight smile. You're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Thank you.
It does get cold up here, though.
Yes, it is quite chilly.
I'm afraid I don't feel it, so I can't help you.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not something to be afraid of. It's rather envious, I would say, in this position. I might head down soon, but I'll have a few minutes.
Very fair. Just returns to sitting very upright, very still. Because they don't have pupils, it's quite difficult to tell whether or not he's like scanning. They're like scanning the horizon, but you presume they are.
Yeah.
You know, it is their job.
Yeah, I'll just sit there for a couple of minutes looking, and I'll get out my notebook and I'll make like a few couple like of little notes of maybe like some little extra like stars or moons that I may have just been able to spot with my naked eye that I might not have seen before because of light pollution and stuff.
Mhm.
Then I'll scamper down.
Yeah,
and
I'm not gonna. I'll
Important
hold
to
your-
note
Yes.
that throughout that entire deep conversation, Nerin was just like, wee, wee, wee,
Yep.
wee.
Nerin was
love
just
this so
absolutely vibing. It was a great.
Hello, Nerin.
Oh, is it time to stop?
No, keep going. I don't think you're bothering anybody. I mean, personally, I find it very entertaining. You're extremely skilled. And
I'll,
I say hi while passing by. I'm going to head down now, though, because I'm very cold.
That's I suppose I am too,
Yes.
DM.
Yes, you are.
When this gets, I'm like a small child on a high, and then when this gets pointed out to me, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Ah, damn, it's cold. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Did you get caught up in it? I do that sometimes when I'm researching. I just kind of forget to eat. And then
Yes.
I stop researching and I realize I'm extremely hungry. And then I eat 2 loaves of bread.
Well, I think I'm going to go and have 2 loaves of warm.
Very good. Right. I mean, if you come down.
This conversation has confused Skrull somewhat, who was just sat there like, warm-bodied creatures are wild.
You come down. I can't make any loaves, but I can make you a little star in my hands that we can kind of share, like a little campfire, except it looks like a star. But it is warm.
That sounds lovely. Shall we get down rather than talking on this pole?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that would make sense. I think my hands are starting to cramp and I really don't want to fall.
Oh, add trees off your deck. Please don't.
Just the
Maybe
mental
actually
image
to
of
be
these
able to
two like
It's like crazy
creatures
Mickey.
hanging
The hair
off
is like-
the side.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like loaves of warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just a very confused Warforged just sat there like,
I imagine that Nerin's been kind of like you know, like an idol animation for a character in a game where they like bounce up and down. I imagine that's what Nerin's doing as well.
I think Nerin's been like swinging. You know, like
Yeah.
you swing on a pole, like whee.
okay, I'll hold your previous acrobatics check for getting down, you're fine.
Yeah.
You-
When we go down, I'll like head over to the other 2. Like, can I sit?
Yeah.
Thank you. They're so clear. Being up there is almost as if you're right there.
The cold coming off.
It's rather chilly. Hang on a second. I'll produce flame.
Produce flame, yeah.
I'm also sitting
my
with them.
face.
Yes.
So he's going to take his cloak off and put it over you.
Thank you.
Warm you
Yeah,
up.
you can huddle up together around Cacula's produce flame and get a little bit of warmth. It's not quite create bonfire, I'm afraid, which actually
Yeah.
does mechanically help, but hey, I cast create bonfire inside a mansion yesterday, like on
This boat
don't worry
is
about it,
on
it was fine. Some of us have it as an ability.
Yeah.
Yes! Little fire.
Little fire.
Oh,
Amazing.
Help! I can't get it down!
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, you huddle up in front of the prow, and it's
I
much
noticed
more
at
hidden.
least one dwarf star and maybe a few moons around
A
some of
few
the
moons?
stars in. Well, yes. I mean, it's kind of hard to see in the city. You can only get so far with telescopes because of all the light pollution.
Right.
You know, everything's so bright, and it's a lot more difficult anyway. But I mean, I'm sure it's not a discovery, but it is to me. So that's very exciting.
I'm glad.
I'm now going to try and work out how many moons there are in the sky currently. So give me a minute.
We have got moons. We do know moons.
Plurality.
It's okay.
There are extra for Nerin because they've been spinning around in circles.
5
If you
moons.
would know this question.
5 moons.
Yes, there are 5
5
moons.
moons.
Where did I? There are 2 suns. Ebro and Obol. Obol smaller. 5 moons, but only 4 are consistently visible. In terms of size, Etis has a 37-day cycle, also Cacula's middle name. Aziolia, 43-day cycle.
Vacorix.
Yeah, correct. Vacorix, 23-day cycle, and Laris, 13-day cycle. And then there is Phobi, which has a 367-day cycle, but is only visible from world for 29 days.
There are 3 moons visible. Laris is in new moon, but Azalea, Etis, and Vacorix are visible.
Yeah. Well, I'll kind of point those out. I mean, obviously there's, Etis, Laros. But, I mean, other planets and stars, I mean, some stars are actually planets. Other planets.
Oh.
Yes. Some stars are just giant stars, like our suns. They don't have moons. Well, I mean, maybe some of them do, but in the wider solar systems, there's no way you can see them over the brightness of the sun, I can tell you that. But yes, the planets have moons. Like we do.
And you can see them.
Well, if you look very, very closely, and then I'll kind of like point a couple out. You can, but it's much easier with a telescope. Unfortunately, that is another thing I had to leave at my house.
Just imagine that earlier.
No, it's very heavy, and although I greatly admire your skills and have a lot of faith in them, I am also 100% sure you would have gotten caught. It's large, brass, and shiny. But
Kitto being caught? Never.
Never.
I almost that. Just as good as you are at finding tracks.
No. You flew back like 15 feet. Are you telling me that I can't?
Right, I've had enough of this. He stands up and goes,
No. Grab you by the coattails.
I'll stop them from being mean to you again.
I am making no such promises.
Well, then I'm the one with the small warm star. So.
It's affectionate.
Right, okay.
Maybe slightly.
Oh no, not friends.
you're both particular.
Thank you. I take great pride in my ridiculousness. I have to. Otherwise, what would I do?
Where is Nerin?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, they said they were. Nerin, are you coming down?
I said I'm already
Erin
there.
was there the whole time. He was having this conversation with me. Erin's there.
I like
Erin's just like, guys, down a little bit here.
No, Nerin was there for the whole conversation.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nerin went over as soon as Cacula did.
Okay, good.
I'm not being mean, am I?
That's mean to ask, I think.
I mean, there are some things that if you have to ask, probably not great.
I am offended.
Well,
I dedicate my entire
Her life.
to Lord and Savior, the hallowed one, and this is the backside
You're not a cleric.
see, and who was talking about affectionate teasing? Now, I don't know about you, but I was told as a child that if you can't take it, you shouldn't be giving it out. I was
Sure thing, Mum.
I was quite. Well, I resent that. I was going to tell you about some of the constellations, since you probably don't know, but never mind.
No, carry on.
You've
I
lost privileges.
have a question, actually.
Right. Okay.
How do you tell the difference between a moon and a star? Because they're both white dots,
Right.
like 1,000 miles away. They look
That is
exactly the same.
It can be quite tricky, especially if you haven't studied them as much as it says to as I have. But that's true of almost anything. So the difference, moons actually reflect light from suns. They don't give off any of their own.
Okay.
And some of them are close enough that you can kind of see the pitting and cratering. There you go, on that one.
Etis? I'm going to say Etis has cratering.
Oh, all of the moons have cratering, and Etis is bigger than our moon.
Okay.
Etis
Okay,
is
so that would be obvious then. Like,
Etis is
we would be able
massive.
to-
Yeah. Laris is quite small. But Etis is like, I don't know. Etis is significant. Etis is like, why have you not looped that track? There we go. Etis is in the sky. It would come out like this big. Like as far away as Etis is, it would come out pretty massive in the sky. So you can see like the cratering on Etis. You can even see some of the mountain ranges on Etis with the naked eye on a very clear night.
You can see, and even a little bit of the mountain ranges as well. They're mostly like that, or at least our moons are. The ones that are further away, it can be difficult to tell the difference, but they're often just less bright and almost shadowy, transparent forms around, usually around a larger star, but it is quite difficult. Right. I mean, some planets have even more moons than this, and some only have one. It all depends. Yes.
As you're having this conversation, actually, you're kind of having this chat, and then Cacula and Kitto, you both have pretty high passive perception.
Oh yeah, it's like 50. No, I want to say 14 or 15.
I think, respectively, for the two of you.
Yeah. Oh, mine's 16 actually.
Mine's 14.
Oh yeah, you've gone up.
16 for you.
Me.
Okay, then just because 15 basically. So just you, Cacula, notice that Scroll leans over the edge of the crow's nest and yells something in what languages does Scroll speak?
Scroll language.
In a language that you don't speak, actually.
Do I speak it?
Yes, Hathor, but you don't hear it.
Oh yeah.
And Frostlion looks up. There's a few of them on the deck. Yes, you do speak it.
Sorry, I'm pressing things.
Yes, you've just sent your language proficiencies to the chat.
I understand.
I see. I'm like, yes, Hathor, but you weren't paying attention. Okay, because you speak it. Someone is speaking Cortan. But you
No, I don't care.
you weren't paying enough attention to know what was being said. You're just like, those are Cortan words.
Yeah.
Good.
You were
Excellent.
like squinting at the sky, trying to make out some of these moon planets.
Oh
like...
no! Oh no! I'm hearing voices now.
Also, okay, I would say Cortan is specifically weird because it's like you walk down the street and someone started yelling in Latin, right? So you're just suddenly like, that's weird. Nobody tends to speak it as a language. Like it's not.
It's going a little bit crazy.
It's a bit more. Yeah, it's an academic thing, but you're like, wait a second. In fact, there have been massive amounts of disputes about how their words are pronounced, and things like that, which you're aware of because you learned it academically. Mm-hmm. This is like somebody speaking it like you'd speak Italian. Like they're just speaking it like a normal language.
I hate that.
And you, Cacula, if you make people aware that that's happening, I can.
Yeah,
Are you gonna be like, oh,
I would have said like,
Did you catch that? What was that? Said something. Is
and
everything right, Captain?
You notice that Frostlion looks up and then yells something back in Cortan. If you are paying attention, Hathor, roll perception, and I'll tell you whether or not you actually understand what, because you speak the language, it's just whether or not you're listening.
13.
Yay.
Okay, that's fine. The response is, get below decks now, make sure everyone else is moved. You know the drill. And you watch a Scroll hops out of the crow's nest and begins scampering down the the area and we'll start playing the nice music. Get back to that.
I was like, I'm so relaxed right now.
Recently, Jake got me listening to the Chrono Cross music, which is really good and it's really nice. But yes, so you watch as Skrull scampers down, and there were a few people on deck at the time, and a lot of them disappear. Spirit was on deck. Spirit's gone. Torrans is gone. Pretty much only Frostlion is left on deck, actually, and that's mainly because he has one hand on the he's actually driving, and you watch the rest of the crew scarper and vanish.
Yeah, if they're doing that, then I'll do that as well. I'll start doing that too.
Don't. If you wouldn't mind hanging about.
No, it's totally fine. What's going on?
Skrull saw a patrol ship. So.
Right. Okay.
Time to play the innocent travelers, and he clicks his fingers, and his whole form shifts, and he now looks human.
What are we doing? Why are we here?
We're just going out to the edges of the Stygian forest. And
an academic exhibition, maybe. For me, to see the stars properly without light pollution.
Sure, fine. I mean, fabulous. If you're going to do the talking, that's fine.
Oh God! All right. I'll talk about the stars. You say the rest of it. I can do that.
If you can change your form, might be useful. If not, don't get caught.
No.
He looks at Hathor, because Hathor he knows is a changeling.
Yeah, but what do you want me to be?
I don't know.
Not you.
Not you was the point.
And look as much like a nerd as you possibly can.
That's not that hard.
Hathor glares.
Nope. It's not that difficult.
Hathor glares and changes into fucking
Cacula.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, Hathor changes and looks like a younger female version of Cacula.
That is very strange. All right.
Okay. Cool. So you now look like a younger female version of Cacula. Which is
like a younger sister.
okay. That's fine. And as I say, Frostlion now isn't in his usual resplendent coat and isn't a dragonborn. It looks human. It looks to be wearing a much more like practical, less kind of pirate style gear, and much more like
I am enchanted to take this ship out.
yeah, much more like I haven't been paid to do this. It's much more functional, and as I say, the rest of the crew have vanished. And Atria hurries up on deck and goes, "Okay, everybody hold still," and moves his fingers and casts something. Nothing appears to change to your eye, and then Atria vanishes. If you want to roll Arcana, Hathor, you can try.
I do want to try. Okay. 14.
Okay, it's definitely illusion magic. You think from where he was angling it, possibly changing either the name of the ship or something like that. Yeah. Just something to make the ship look less identifiable. And you actually then all start to notice there is a smaller ship, a much smaller ship pulling that has come round from, you guys are skirting the edge of the Baywick Range right now, over the edge, and has come round from behind from the city and is skirting the edge. It's a smallish sky ship, completely by the look of it steam powered, and is painted on the side with just the word merchant. But nothing else. There isn't an actual name on the ship.
Okay. I'll like get my notebooks out. I assume I have like at least one or two. I definitely got one. But if I've got like two, I'll give one to Hathor.
And then pass them. I'll nudge you to give it over to Kitto.
Oh yeah, and then I'll give it to
my own
Kitto.
You have, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll give it to Kitto, and I'll like take my pen out, and like if they get close enough to be in hearing range, I'll start like waffling on about like some kind of obscure like moon, just the most obscure like technical
language I can possibly muster.
Okay.
Nerin will
Kitto,
sit
Nerin. Yeah, what are you
and
guys doing?
be like staring in awe at the words as if I'm very interested in this moon information.
What are you doing, Kitto? Because then I'm going to need some fun rolls.
Kitto's gonna be reflecting and like engaging in this conversation, knowing nothing about the stars, but like being like, yes, and then coming at you with just jargon, pure jargon.
Just pure jargon. Okay.
I'll like translate that into something that actually makes sense, like having a really really solid two partnership where one of you was very smashed the night before and the other one is doing the academic translator.
I remember. So I'm going to need 1, deception with advantage from Hathor, 2, performance from both Kitto and Cacula, and persuasion from Nerin.
Can I have advantage because I'm performing by just saying loads of stuff about my hyperfixation, please?
Yes, because we did agree that you have advantage on things to do with your hyperfixation, so yes.
Couldn't I have had deception instead, sir?
Yes, no, you can take deception as well, if you'd like. I will let you take deception.
That was a natural 1 on performance, so...
Well, no, if you were going to take deception, then you can roll deception.
Okay, I will go for deception instead, because I have a +6 to that. That's a 15.
15, 17. What did we get for advantage on performance?
3.
With advantage?
Yeah, I got a 2. I got a 3 and a 2.
Okay. And for Hathor?
10.
A 10. Okay, so we got very high on Nerin and very high. So Nerin, you guys are looking great. The other 2 of you are looking anxious.
Yeah. Maybe I can pull it off as like I'm just a really weird shooter. Can we try?
Okay.
Let's try that.
So you rolled with advantage as well, obviously, because it's to do with
2 and 9.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, 11.
Okay. They do come definitely within hearing range. They pull right up beside the ship. And it's a fairly open ship, like there doesn't appear to be a below decks kind of area. Everybody roll me perception just so that I know. I will describe it obviously, but just more for context than anything.
I'm natural 20.
Okay.
24. I got an 18. Where was that when I needed it? Huh?
Nerin? 18 for Nerin. Hathor, you are so preoccupied trying to look impressive. You've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of you.
I was trying to sound like Cacula.
Yeah, I'm failing massively.
Using only information you just learned from him about what moons are.
I think
Yeah.
it's pulling off a
Yeah. You definitely are.
accent, but nothing else is going quite right.
Yeah, okay.
There's so many of them, and
But
they make no
moons.
sense together.
Moons, and you're just like, okay. But the rest of you,
Yes, and Etis. Yes, and all the craters, and you can see the mountain range. Brilliant, simply brilliant.
and the rest of you do see a what appears to be a patrol ship. So most of the members on this ship, there's about 10 of them, are dressed in the regalia of the Black Mark Militia. They wear these long black tabards with the white splash across the chest, and you would all recognize that as the Black Mark Militia. And there is one man who is wearing a slightly fancy hat, like a, not quite like a bicorn hat, you know? And he's a human man. The rest of them are varying races, tiefling, orc, human, mixture of many races. And they're all armed. None of them are pointing their weapons at the ship, but they're all holding their weapons, or they're visibly on them. And this man wearing the bicorn hat pulls up to the side of the ship, and Frostlion clears his throat and goes, hello, is there a reason we have been intercepted? And the captain individual says, yes, I'm just here to request the reason you're flying at this time of night, and also the reason why you're flying over here. Permits? reasoning? Anything at all?
I mean, that's my fault, I'm afraid. I brought my tutorial group out. We're astronomers from the university. It's kind of an informal thing. I use my own money, so I'm not sure if there's any kind of form you want me to fill in. Yes, light pollution in the city is simply awful, and frankly, at this level, you just need to be able to get close and see the moons and things.
Roll deception with advantage.
Okay. Don't ruin this for me.
You roll it on the roll 20 if you prefer.
What was it?
I need to get my modifier.
Oh no. You need to get the modifier, it's not great.
Oh, it's 0. 10.
That's okay. He rolled.
Said good things. Why
He
you do
rolled-
this to me, dice?
He rolled a 4. You're okay.
Yay!
He rolled
He's like,
a 4.
oh god, academics. Please,
Yeah.
please get out. I don't want to interact with them.
He kind of. Absolutely. Where are you going? Just so I don't bother you again. Who has the highest? 1 second. Who has the highest insight? Passive insight. It
I have
probably.
6. Oh, I
Okay.
don't know what passive, but I have a plus
It's
6.
10 plus your modifier.
So 16.
16. What is everyone's passive insight out of interest?
10, 12.
12 and then
10.
10. Okay, so just Cacula. This is a very new crew.
Okay.
You can tell from the way they're standing. Also, Cacula, you have interacted vaguely with the Black Mark. They're not the Librarians militia, but also your grandmother was a guild member. This crew is super new, has no idea what it's doing, and also isn't particularly professional. You notice that 3 of them are talking to each other whilst they're meant to be, looking scary and intimidating in case you guys are sky pirates. And they're just not paying any attention. And this captain is pretty young. He's maybe 25. And you're like, okay, if I can keep up this charade, he's not going to question us because he's not actually really worried about us.
Yeah.
'Cause he doesn't think we're sky pirates. He just is trying to get off shift here.
Yeah.
It's just to the edge of the forest and back. It's just enough time so we can complete the tutorial, really.
Oh, okay. Yes. I see. Absolutely. Have a good evening, and I hope that the skies are clear.
Thank you. Yes, we did pick a lovely night for it.
Yes. Very, very clear. We're going to be circling around the mining dell if you get into any issues.
All right. Oh, are there sky pirates about? I don't want to expose my students to anything.
I would not know, and if there were, we would deal with them. Absolutely.
Right.
He says, and then glowers at the 3 crew members who are talking to each other, who will jolt and just hold their pikes like, yep, abso-fucking-lutely, we're professionals.
All right. Well, be on your duties, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you.
I'm very grateful.
Goodbye now. And he kind of waves to the guy who's driving, who just kind of
Right.
nods and
So
drives
where
them
was
away.
I? Yes. Okay. Etis. So.
And you continue babbling until they're out of range, and Frostlion holds it for like a minute or 2 until they're out of sight range, and then drops Disguise Self and just is like, sometimes I do wonder if the Black Mark are even bothering, to
They
be
were
honest.
awfully unprofessional.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's good. That's good for us.
Oh, no, it's wonderful.
I mean, to be fair, also, you'd be surprised the amount of things you can do if you just speak confidently with an upper class accent.
Oh, why do you think I changed my face? There's enough reasons for me to go hiding in that city. Anyway, he kind of turns around and produces a piece of copper wire and points downwards and goes, we're all good, they're idiots. And slowly the crew start coming back out from underneath to return to their posts.
They said they were patrolling the mining dell, though. That's not good news for us, is it?
No, however, if they're patrolling the mining dell and searching for larger skyships, it is possibly because you're not going to be noticed in the tiny little thing we've got going.
All right. Well, that's good at least.
Yes.
Also, we now know how they are. I
That's
think
true.
having them patrolling is much better than anyone else.
That's true.
Yes, also, we have, seen how many of them there are, if in case we do have to remove them. That's not impossible at that kind of level.
They don't seem terribly experienced. Obviously, that doesn't speak to battle prowess necessarily, but it means they might be able to be fooled more easily by a ruse or taken by surprise.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
How many of them were there, sorry, out of character, just so I can get that down?
11, including the captain. So there are 10 crew members, and then there was the captain.
Thank you.
And it was more of a, like, it was like half, not even half the size of the Peak Skipper. It was like a small, and as I say, it was steam powered, not arcane powered, and it very much was like a small, I guess the only comparison would be you were driving a Ferrari and a really battered cop car pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
Was
like
that?
a 70s cop car.
Yeah. 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 The fact that it was completely
vintage.
Yeah, the fact that it was completely steam powered is fairly unusual. Most things at this point are a mixture of steam and arcane. The first steam and arcane I wrote down on a thing. I know information about this now.
Timeline.
Yeah, I have a timeline. But yes, so it takes, as I say, it takes this whole section of time takes you maybe 30 minutes by the time they've pulled up and pulled away again and you start relaxing. But the crew soon return to their varying posts and get back to the things that they were doing previously.
Yeah. I'll just say to the rest of the group, I have never lied to anybody so successfully before.
You did a good job.
Thank you. I mean, I was greatly helped by the fact that they were incredibly foolish, and I was mostly talking about things I like a lot and know a lot about.
Yes, darling. I'm not to, crush you a little bit, but it wasn't super persuasive.
Yes, I'm aware.
It's fine. You did better than I expected.
Thank you.
Is it?
Hold on. Thank you.
You weren't exactly helping, Hathor, dearest.
I know.
Repeating the word moon over and over again.
I was going to say next time, if you like, I can give you a couple of kind of obscure names of things that you could say instead. And honestly, I found if you scatter in a few like, yes, and just kind of write in your notebook and say random words, that often works as well. Put me through many lectures.
I built this character like Hathor is charismatic. Hathor's going to be a great liar.
You just rolled poorly on that one, okay? You just panicked. Okay.
I think the problem is he probably got too into character. What would Cacula's sister be like? Who is she? Like, what was her childhood like?
Yeah. So it just ended up super awkward. Yeah, no, it just very much was, you are charismatic. It just very much was you panicked and were like, fuck, and just blanked and just kept repeating.
My advice for
Yes.
My advice is to say less. If you have one person who knows what they're talking about, then just do lots of nodding and looking interested.
Really, thank you.
If you don't say anything, then they can't find a flaw in it.
Nod and smile.
It's much easier to keep a poker face than it is to agree or disagree. The Warforged actually have I never know what either Spirit or Scroll are thinking unless I actually ask them.
It's quite a skill.
Well, I'm not sure it's a skill if you actually can't move the faceplates.
That's very true. That's very true. A feature. Exactly.
Yes.
An unexpected benefit.
Yes, let's say. Hopefully we won't have to deal with anything else like that again.
Hopefully.
But yes. Do
How
continue.
far away are we?
About 2 hours.
Right. I think we should try and get some rest.
Yeah.
Yes. If you'd like to, you are of course welcome to get some well, I wouldn't suggest get some sleep, but get a little bit of rest if you need it.
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? You're going to say to the floor. Like you just collapse and have a little nap.
Good night.
Right where you are.
Yeah.
The rest of the group are like,
I don't
Okay.
look like Cacula.
yay.
Yes.
Is that really what my freckles look like?
Right.
Okay.
You never looked in a mirror?
No, I haven't. Not for a good while, admittedly.
It's different. I get that. And I made myself look exactly like you.
Oh, that's much worse. God, I need to.
Frostline is watching this, just mildly amused, and goes, "Oh, I mean, it's quite funny though." And then looks like Kitto.
Oh, was that?
Can I look like Frostline?
Very
You can try, and then he'll drop it.
I'm going to attempt.
I believe you can't mimic his tail, but you can do the rest of it
Yeah.
because you can't add extra limbs, and he is a
It's
tailed
more kind of the
dragonborn.
neck
But
up.
yeah, you can do it.
So if you had like Cacula's body.
That's horrifying. Please don't.
While everyone is having fun switching, I'll just say, maybe the sleep is better
Yes, I need it.
sooner.
I mean, I definitely need a rest after that.
Frostlion is looking at Hathor as himself, like, oh boy, I haven't looked in a mirror for a while. Is that really what my horns look like? He kind of touches them.
They're very nice. Don't listen to him.
Wow.
I'm not doing anything. I just look like it's very alarming being faced with an exact replica of yourself as you are live.
time
in
it's
that
Nerin.
front then.
Nerin, you look up and there's another you,
But really tall.
but really tall. Do you think you actually can shrink yourself by
I
a
can
foot?
shrink.
Oh, okay. never
How
mind.
tall is Nerin?
Like 3 foot?
No.
4-ish?
Small.
It's
One
like
sec.
either side, right?
It's
I've
a
got it
foot
written
either
down
side,
somewhere.
So because
Yeah.
Hathor's 5'8", he can do 4'8".
Yeah.
Can't do any shorter than that.
I think Nerin is size
Nerin is-
small, so
Yes,
Nerin
Nerin
is
is
below
small.
4 foot.
Nerin is slightly taller than a halfling, but like still
Yeah.
small.
I think Nerin is like tall for a halfling, so like 3'8" maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So
I
you would
can't
still
find it
be a
written down,
foot.
but-
You'd be a foot taller than Nerin. Yeah. Anyway, now that we've finished playing around, I'm going to continue to fly the ship.
Right, yes. I'm going to sit down and think.
I mean,
It's gonna go right.
honestly, it was just disguise self. That's just an illusion. If you'd have touched me, it would still. I mean, not with Hathor, obviously, but
When
with me,
disguise
it's not. It's just an illusion.
Yourself.
Don't think on it too hard.
Perhaps let's not have a philosophical debate just before we have to deal with important things.
Yes, I have often been told that.
Yes.
Right. Sleep. Nap. Sitting down. I'm going to go and sit down at
Okay.
least.
Well, Hathor
Okay.
has a bit of a meltdown about having chased one so frequently.
He's like, oh, this is so fun. And he's like, oh.
Yeah. Who am I? Okay. Is there anybody else on the crew you guys want to talk to?
We're just vibing. If people want to talk to us, that is funky and cool. But
Okay.
I'm just hanging out.
Just vibing. That's fair. You can be just vibing. I'm trying to think who would be on the deck at this point. Fenrir is not on the deck. Farlin is not on the deck. Cassandra's not on the deck. So you probably got on deck currently Torrans, Clicks, Atri as well has come up for a bit. So they're kind of around. Atri seems to be like actually just taking a moment and just staring out at the expanse of the night sky. It's quite late now, so you guys set off at like 8 p.m, so it's like 10 p.m. now and it's really quite dark, and Atri is just stood at the bow with dancing lights up because kobolds don't have dark vision, and is just staring out at the sky, just like one hand underneath his chin, like just watching the sky. Tarans is sat with Clicks sat on his horns, and they just seem to be quietly enjoying each other's space. The two of them don't seem to speak very much, but that doesn't massively surprise you with Clicks's naturality about mimicry not being a thing. Like speech isn't necessarily a thing that Clicks does a whole lot, and Torrance just seems very happy to just sit and exist in the same space. And Frostlion continues to. And Frostlion obviously doesn't appear to at all be bothered by the cold because he's a white dragonborn and he's cold resistant, so he doesn't appear to be bothered by the cold. Atri does.
It never bothered him anyway.
It didn't.
Or maybe it was.
Yeah, Atri does. Atri does actually appear to be shivering. Atri is a gold kobold, so Atri is fire-based. So
if Atri's shivering, I'll go over with my produce flame. Hello.
You still have my cloak on you as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go and give it away to a stranger. I'll give it back to you. I've warmed up, so I'll if you're sat.
Just give it to the kobold.
Yeah. If you're sat on the ground, I'll I've warmed up now, so I'll put it off and I'll tuck it. Well, I won't tuck it because that would be weird, but I'll drape it carefully and gently over your shoulders like a little blanket.
Okay. Kitto,
I'll
you have your
go
coat.
to Atri and have hi.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
I just thought you looked a little chilly, so I thought I might bring over my. I mean, it's kind of thematically appropriate.
Yes, I run a little hotter than most, so it gets a little cooler, but it's worth. Usually, obviously, I stay below decks, but you never really get bored of the sight of the sky at night.
No, you don't have to tell me I'm an astronomer.
Yes, I'd kind of noticed.
Yeah, I feel like much about me is very obvious just from looking or having one conversation with me.
Okay, but I feel like I'm fairly obvious as a wizard, he says, kind of waving the long blue robes that he's wearing and the clearly obvious books strapped to his hip.
That's
you know,
it
might
is
as well
a
exist.
uniform, but in the best way, and it just does suit you. The blue's awfully nice with your skin.
Thank you. Yes, thought I'd get away from the elementals for a little bit, see the sky for a while.
Which is your favourite constellation?
I mean, I guess it would be awfully boring of me to say Drapetta, but
no, not for
it meant different things to me in different periods of my life. I think that it holds great importance to me, and the idea of changing who I was and who I became, but also a little bit the blank page. I was a before I joined the crew, I was just an arcanist, just a student like you and Hathor. So I guess that kind of holds a little bit of meaning to me too.
That makes sense. Sorry, I often forget that it's not usually a question people have been asked before.
I guess not, but you know, there are lots of questions I've asked people that I don't think people have been asked before.
True.
It's not.
And people often have opinions that they don't realise they have, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's yes, I think it's something that perhaps people are less aware of than they think.
Indeed. Well, my favourite probably has to be my namesake. My namesake. Yes, just because it was given to me by my parents. It's like a gift that never fades and is always there. Well, mostly there. It comes back, at least, when it goes. And that means something. But I'm awfully grateful to Drapetta.
I think a lot of us are grateful to Drapetta on this ship. It's been the thing that's guided many of us. It's the thing that, changed my life from... I think possibly we have a similar situation.
I'd studied it and I'd heard tales and, the occasional tale, and kind of figured out its alternative meaning, and then I kept seeing it places and kind of put it together from there. And then I reached out, a contact found me, And now I'm here.
I knew the previous captain before I joined the ship, Rainhawk. He offered me a job. I was quite young at the time. I was only 19. Younger than that when I first met him. And he was doing such incredible things with the form of Arcanist and power and flight, and I was so interested, but I haven't been at the schools very long, and I wanted to finish what I thought was important. So Rainhawk went off on his first mission without me. And then he never came back. And I realized that actually, perhaps my education wasn't that important because there were people going missing. And people who needed help. I was a member of the School of Materials at the time. Hathor and Clix were both there.
Different circumstances, I assume.
Yes. So I made the decision to take their lives into my hands. We ran. And we got lucky that there were still people on this ship who were happy to help us. And then Frostlayer needed somebody to help repair the ship anyway, and the rest is history, and we've been on the ship ever since.
Mm. Yes. Strikingly similar, actually. But I don't know what happened to the people that I don't know if I could say brought with me, but the people I helped. If you ever, their names were Fora, Noctis, and Zari. Halfling, tiefling, human in that respective order. If you ever come across them, would you mind?
I'll let you know.
Thank you. Just how they are. I had things to give them that I never got to give them. Just money and things like that. But it would be very good to know that they were all right.
We run across a lot of slaves, and we free as many as we can. Because a thing that Frostlion cares very deeply about, which is good that we have a captain who cares so deeply about it, because there are many captains out there who don't share that, I think.
Well, I'm glad to be here then.
So am I.
I better go and sit back down then.
Yes, I should go back to the go check on the engines and stuff. We'll be getting close soon. But I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And kind of scampers off. And we will take a quick break here.
There you are. Oh, how I wish you'd started the recording just then.
That would have been wonderful. We didn't get it. But there we go. Okay.
I do also want to say very quickly that you will be glad to know that James didn't officially come out as Ace until we were in year 11. But for our whole secondary school experience, it was just, hi, this is our friend James. He doesn't fuck.
That's on recording now. Just there.
James doesn't fuck.
James doesn't fuck. Thanks.
Incredibly inappropriate plant jokes. Oh, no. But like, we were all vibing with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, back to it. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you guys. I guess if you do want to take a short rest, you can take a short rest, but none of you taken any damaged or used any spells, so you don't need one.
I think it's more like flavour.
Emotionally, we're taking a short rest.
Emotionally, you're taking a short. Okay, that's allowed.
Thank you. You just seem like this to the chat. Absolutely brilliant, awe-inspiring, never before seen.
Are you okay?
Unique.
Okay.
I never want to look at anything else again. Sorry, the session is over. I'm just going to be looking at this for the rest of the night. Oh, look at him go. Oh, he's munching it. Sorry. I can enjoy this quietly.
Trying to do a thing here. So, before other things happen, this is your last chance. Anybody else you want to talk to on the ship?
I really feel like we're meant to talk to someone because the DM keeps telling us, but really also
No.
I have no idea who we should
If
talk
the
to.
backstory's there, you can interact with it if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I have the things. If you want to go talk to people, it is fine. I do have that information now.
Okay.
But also, I don't really care. It will come out at some point. It's not like you're going to leave these NPCs. The whole reason that I wrote backstories for them is that, guess what? They're going to be important for a
Yes,
significant
that's
amount of this
good.
campaign. So,
I was misinterpreting it as there is something you need to find out before you
Nope.
go and do this, and you haven't yet.
No.
I was
Nope.
like,
not at all.
Walking into the quest marker and it's like, no, you haven't gathered all the information.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's Team Rocket members in the road ahead. You can't get past.
you can't get past.
They're like, sorry.
The Snorlax is asleep.
Yeah, we need to go get the flu and then we can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was just generally, is there anything else you want to do before we continue?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah, I want to succeed at this quest, please.
that's not optional.
Oh no!
You guys get deeper into the night, and it's like 11 o'clock when something you're quite high in the Baywick range now. You're deep within these sets of mountains, and they tower over. The skyship isn't peak skipping, because that would be obvious. It's late, and the skyship has to be lit, especially because a significant number of the crew don't have dark vision, like Frostlion, the captain. So he has dancing lights around his head, but like a significant number of the crew don't have dark vision, so it is almost permanently lit by small everlasting torches. So they are weaving in between the peaks rather than flying over them, because it would be obvious and you'd be seen. And you're kind of flying through and continuing on, and oh, this is something, I guess this is just a bit of flavor. Cacula, roll me perception for a previous thing.
Pick dice. Come on, pick dice, don't let me down. Okay, it mostly isn't. I'm just getting out my character sheet, sorry. It's app has decided it has to open itself again.
Oh, great. Now I have to log in again. How good and useful. Thank you. Thank you, Internet. Is it a plus? I feel like it's a +4.
It's
it's plus
at least
6.
it's
I
plus
think it's
6, right?
6 because I got proficiency.
Yeah.
So that's 13.
You've got proficiency.
19. Probably.
Okay, good.
Specifically 19. If it's much lower, I'll tell you when I've actually logged in again.
That okay. That's yeah, it's fine. Generally, you did notice one thing. I guess that you would have noticed is that whilst you were with Scroll, Scroll was wearing a rather large set of goggles, and like over their optics, and they're like pretty big kind of things, and you're not sure what they're for, but it was just a flavor thing, more than anything. And so you are kind of hanging out, having just taken a rest, when are you guys hanging out at the prow again?
Yeah, just where we're out of the way, but we can still see what's going on.
Yeah. So you're hanging out at the prow again when there is and actually the crew have kind of scattered off again. It's quite late and most of their tasks are complete, so there aren't that many people on the deck currently. Frostlion is there. Scroll is in the crow's nest. That's kind of it. Nobody else needs to be on deck, and it's really quite cold in the Baywick range, so nobody is, because they don't have to be, because otherwise they freeze. I mean, aside from Squirrel and Spirit tends to spend a lot more time below deck anyway, so there was nobody else on deck at the time when you hear yet again Squirrel yell something in Cortan. Hathor, make perception. I think you're the only one who actually speaks Cortan, so make a perception check.
Nothing that one.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Again, you hear yelling, and you're like, and
Things.
you're like, things.
Moon.
Yeah, you know, Cacula, with your passive, you notice that Squirrel is again once more hanging over the side of the crow's nest and yells down at Frostlion, and Frostlion turns around and yells back, and then looks up and goes, well, looks like we may get a little bit of a chance to test your benefits. You mind? Kind of gestures you to come over.
I hate you.
Do you head over?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I jump off the ship.
Okay.
We go and turn the wheel around and go back.
You head over to
Take
Frostlion.
taxi.
Valid. You head over to Frostlion, and Frostlion kind of. Squirrel tells me there's movement on the port side, and possibly the starboard. So
Creature or patrol?
they seem to think a creature.
Right.
Too small for a patrol. I don't really want to get any of the other members of the crew up here if you can handle it, though I will if I need to.
I mean, yeah, we should be able to, and if we can't, that will become very quickly obvious.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay, okay.
Buckle on a ship.
Okay. I'm going to pull up Frostlion's character sheet to see if he can give you any benefits.
Yes, boss.
Yes, that's what I'm looking. Because he'll have to use his action. If he's in here, he'll have to use his action to drive the ship. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have other stuff he can do. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just as a side note, it's 2 wild shapes. Sorry, I don't know where I got.
Per short rest. Yeah, it's 2 per short
two,
rest.
2 per short rest, not 3. But that's still 2 hours. But I will save them.
Yeah. You can obviously short rest. You would have time to short rest. You know, you've still got maybe an hour before you hit the Dell.
Okay.
So if you would like to, you know, mechanically, you know that you would probably still have time to take a little bit of a break.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah. Yes. Okay. Cool. Fine.
Yeah. In that case, if we are almost certain we're going to have to fight, I mean, it only lasts 10 minutes, but I assume it's going to happen soon. So I'll take the archer.
Okay, you have the archer up, and as I change the music, and you begin to see smallish creatures flying at the ship fairly insistently. I need everybody to put themselves upon the map.
Oh, there's many.
Do I have control of everyone?
You don't. Let me put them on the map. I will give you control of their character tokens.
Oh, here we go.
Wrong one. Where's the characters? There they are. One Hathor Ermik.
Oh, great, thank you.
One Cacula Scops. Let me alter your permissions. Permissions, please.
Who's my boy?
Give me the man.
That seems
Hey.
a little intense.
Just like, you know what? I don't think I will.
No, I
You've
won't.
lost men privileges.
Yes, no men for you today, Ruth.
Disallowed. Forbidden.
There you go. You should have
Woohoo!
Cacula. And now,
Okay.
whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Edit.
Ruth is now rapidly wiggling the cursor over Hathor's token, saying, "Give him to me. Give him to me."
You now should have Hathor.
Don't.
Okay. So, how about we start with initiative? Arc 2 months.
Get mixed up with yours.
There they are.
If you're not careful.
Roll initiative for
Let me know when you're ready.
4. Natural 1. Oh boy. Going well on those, lads.
Okay, I rolled a 2.
What about you, buddy? What about you?
18 for me.
9.
Oh, Frostlion rolled well.
Maybe I sensed something in the air. That's why I took the archer.
Clear. Well, you knew they were coming. It's not really sensing things in the air.
Nope, I sensed it with my special spidey senses.
Kitto.
The danger that we know is coming.
I can feel it in the air.
I'm at 3 total.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
3 for Hathor. 4 for Frostlion. Kitto, what did you get?
9.
9. 18 for Cacula, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Nerin, what did you get?
14.
Oh, 14, I see it, yes.
Nice.
And 4 for the cockatrices.
Good.
Descending. Okay. That will put us at Cacula. You are up first.
Is it me?
Yeah.
I can't remember myself,
Yay!
sorry.
Okay, no, that's all right. Okay, can we just pop that turn order up there? Hang on, let me just check the. Sorry, bear with me. My character sheet will interact with me. It's just very slow. I'm just checking the. Oh, thank you, Astrid. Okay, so that's my bonus, 60 feet. Okay, I'm just gonna measure who is within that range. Okay, this boy. I can't see that one. Sorry.
That was 45.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, I'm gonna get the one way over here with. Okay. I'm gonna get this one.
Yeah, okay.
With my starry form attack. That's a D8. Okay, so that's 9 damage.
What did you roll to hit?
No hitting, only damage.
Okay, I need
That's
to.
that's only a 7, but I might have a bonus. Let me just check. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop, bloop,
Plus
bleep,
your
bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, my
the ranged spell attack. Yeah.
Hang on, sorry, I'm trying to check it, but it's not liking existing on an iPad.
It's a ranged spell attack.
Yes. Wait, so I get a +6. So 13? I doubt that's going to hit either.
Let me double check the AC on these guys. 13 will just miss, sorry.
Okay, no, that's no problem. And then I think produce flame is also.
That's a main action, yes.
That's a main action. Sorry, I'm just trying to call it up. You know what? I'll just do guiding bolt. I know that one is 4. No, that's not 4d6, is it? That's way too much.
It is 4d6's guiding bolt.
46. Okay. Can I borrow some d6s, Astrid?
You still need to roll to hit it.
You need to roll to hit it.
No, I don't. I don't know how D&D works. Okay, better.
16 is the base.
That will hit it, yes.
Okay, cool. Well, now I'll roll to hit it. So 5, 9, no. Yes.
Yes, 15.
Okay.
But
15
the same
damage.
boy.
Okay, well, you didn't hit him the first time round, so
Yes,
Cool.
but the same one.
that's fine. Okay. Does that end your turn, Cacula?
It does, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
it's
not
Frost
going to move
Lion's.
because I'm in a good position to hit people at the moment.
Frost Lion takes his action to fucking continue to drive the ship.
Inconsiderate, but go off, I guess.
He's just gonna turn around and go, Hathor, would you mind? And you gain Bardic Inspiration,
Yay!
which I
In that
believe
moment, he is
his
so
level
cool.
is a D6.
Oh, great, cool.
But that will bring us to Nerin.
Oh no. Well, seeing as you can't punch people from far away unless you got fancy electric gloves,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out my crossbow.
Valid.
And shoot at the one that one. Can you see where I'm clicking? No, you can't.
I cannot.
This one.
Yes.
Yes. So let me roll. We try with dice first. That is a 19 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Marvelous. That is a D8. God, I haven't played D&D in so long. Oh, that is 12 damage.
Whoo!
No,
It's
wait.
a lot of damage.
11 damage. 11
Whoo, it's a
damage.
lot of
Maths.
At least you have an excuse though, Leo. I played D&D on Thursday.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
the
You
last
played
time
D&D
I
on
played
Tuesday.
D&D was this.
No,
Last time.
it was on Thursday. We had Eberron on Thursday.
We had Eberron on Wednesday. Yesterday was Thursday. We did not have session yesterday. We had Terrathir on Tuesday, which you weren't in, and then we had Eberron on Wednesday.
Was it Thursday the week before that?
Oh, it was Sunday the week before that.
Never
It's
mind.
okay, Niimi. We all know that days are a lie.
Today is Friday. We didn't do it yesterday. We did it the day before that, which was Wednesday.
See, I keep thinking it's Saturday, and then it's nice every time I realise it's Friday because I get an extra day.
Okay, it's not. It's Friday night. Okay. Is
Dumb,
that
okay?
your turn, Nerin?
I believe I cannot do bonus action attacks because I am not punchy.
No, you are not punchy.
So I will stop because I
You're
can do
very
nothing.
punchy. They're just not cool enough to be able to approach you. They're intimidated by how cool you are.
Kitto, you are up.
Kitto is gonna come. Oh wait, we're flying.
In the sky.
Thank you, dear.
It was important that you knew it.
If I stand here, we're flying the other way, right? So that's not blocking Frost Line's view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine. You're fine the other way.
Thanks. And I'm gonna crossbow this one.
Okay. Yep.
So that is. Okay, that's not. I can't see what that is. There we go. Oh, that's a worse roll, but oh well. 10 to hit.
10 will not hit.
That's all right. That's my turn.
Okay. It's now the cockatrice's turn. So we're going to first go with these guys who actually can't do anything but move. So they're going to move to there. This boy has got just enough movement to get to here and still make an attack. This boy can also move and make an attack. This boy can move and make an attack. As can this boy.
Oh.
I mean, you might need it. So there's one attack on Nerin, one attack on Hathor, and then 2 attacks on... Actually, no, there'll be 1 attack on Frostlion and 1 attack on our good friend Kitto. Okay. Oh, show me the fucking thing. Let me make the attacks. Roll 20, you useless boy. Okay. What's bite, damn it. Bite attack. Here we go. Let us do the bite attack. Why are you rolling at advantage? I mean, 22 will hit. I presume.
What? Yes. Who asked?
First one was on Hathor, I believe. Yeah, 22 on Hathor. Let's stop playing the music. Why does it do this to me? I'm trying to work here. Okay, cool. Hathor, you take some damage. Roll the damage. 7 piercing damage, and I need you to make me a con save.
Oh no, go.
Nerin, this one is on you.
That's me.
17.
Yeah, you're fine. So just 7 damage. natural one on Nerin, so that won't hit. This one is on
Hooray!
Frost Lion. Ooh, that will hit him though. Yep. Okay. He takes 7 as well. Okay, what's his hit points? That's fine. Con save for Frost Lion. Oh no, he's failed that. Okay, he's restrained. And this one is on you, Kitto.
What is it?
7 will not
No,
hit.
ow. Yeah. I
Yeah,
take
okay.
that back. Redacted.
Redacted, you're fine.
It's like when you almost accidentally like stub your toe and then you say ow, or you drop something and you say ow, and
Yeah.
you're not actually hurt.
Yeah.
You just said it as a reaction to something surprising.
Yeah.
Okay, so you watch as these things fly up, and one of them manages to get a bite into Hathor, who it hurts, but you're fine. And then the other one, another one manages to get a bite into Frost Lion, and you watch as Frost Lion's legs begin to turn grey, and you can always see his feet because he's a dragonborn, doesn't wear shoes. And they start to petrify, and he is now restrained.
Oh dear, that is not great.
Welcome to Cockatrices. That will bring us to Hathor.
Okay. They got awfully quick. I am going to attack the one who. I'm going to look at the frost line and go with pleasure and attack the one who just bit in.
Okay, go for it.
Chromatic orb, please.
Okay, yeah, roll to attack.
Okay. Yeah, 18.
Yeah, that'll hit. Roll damage.
What do I want it to be? Good. Oh no.
Good.
Okay. 13 points of, let's do acid damage.
Nice. It's good. It takes that. Doesn't like it. Okay.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Bring us to the top of the round, which is Cacula.
Hello. So I am trying to get my character sheet up again because it logged me out again. I want to see if I can help Thingy. So Thingy, Frost Lion. I almost said Rainstorm, and I'm like, no, that's not what that is. I'm getting my names confused. That's not even the name of the other guy. Anyway, so yeah, I'll do my bonus action because I've got to do that, and I'll do it on the one that attacked Frost Lion because he's steering the ship, and I don't know how to do that. Okay, 11 plus 6 is 17.
Yes, that will hit.
And that is just 1d8. So, okay, plus 4 is 8 damage.
Nice, good.
And then for my main action, it's still deciding whether it's going to let me look at my character sheet or not. So just give it a sec. I don't think I have restoration or anything. Or maybe I do, but I can't. Yeah. No, I do not have it prepped for today, so I can't help him. I guess I'll. I don't know. I guess I could try and. I'm just going to attack the thing that's attacking him. Yeah, I'm gonna go guiding bolt again.
Okay. Yep.
But on the thing that's attacking him.
Yep.
Oh no, that's a 9.
No, sorry.
Never mind.
Okay, it is his turn. I don't think he has prepared the thing that will help him. So I don't think he has that.
Well, there is a ship's doctor, so if we can kill all the things, then hopefully he'll be able to be helped by the ship doctor before he gets turned into a stone and the ship crashes because none of us know how to fly a ship.
I'll wing it.
I believe in Kitto.
I'm just, yeah.
He could do it. He's multi-talented.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, he is going to take his action to grab the piece of copper wire and yell down, "Farlin, get up!" And then he's going to take his bonus action to go, Kitto, stab it in the back, and you have bardic inspiration.
I love his bardic inspiration. It's literally just like, help me.
He is an eloquent individual, shall we say?
He's good. I like him very much.
Where's his? Okay, he's fine. And you